This is Ripley. Last survivor of the Nostromo. Signing off.
What's up with Alien Isolation? It's a first-person survival horror game that came out in 2014 by Creative Assembly and Sega. It had a strong user reception but a poor critical reception due to IGN, which gave it a 5.9 out of 10. The game initially released on PS4 and Xbox One, but would later come to Nintendo Switch and even phones. So you were able to pick the game up on Android and iPhones on their respective app stores. Let's break it down, starting with the story. The game has you play as Sigourney Weaver's fictional daughter Amanda Ripley, with her dead eyes. The game takes place 15 years after the events of the first Alien movie. And spoilers, but the movie ends with her entering hypersleep and making a log talking about how everyone on the Nostromo died. The game begins with this same log. Amanda Ripley is approached by Samuels, an employee of Weyland-Yutani, about the Nostromo's flight recorder, which would give them more information on what exactly happened. It's currently being stored on Sevastopol Space Station. He tells Ripley that himself and someone from Weyland's legal team, named Taylor, will be going to retrieve it.
We're going to travel out.
We?
Me and another exec. And you, if you're willing.
Samuels invites Ripley to join, and she accepts. Aboard the ship, the Torrens, they prepare to dock at Sevastopol, but the spaceport is damaged, and the communications aren't working. Clearly a red flag, they decide to moonwalk over to it, and shit explodes, separating the entire group. Searching the station alone, you realize that the place is totally wrecked after something went wrong. We all know it's because of an alien, otherwise there wouldn't be a game. Different members of the crew have gone into survival mode and become hostile. Some looting, while others are just trying to stay safe. You meet a dude named Axel, who's kind of an asshole.
Where'd you come from? Ripley?
Off station. A ship.
There's no ships here!
Ripley convinces him to help her reach communications so she can contact the Torrens. Anyways, Axel gets clapped by the alien. You make it back to Samuels and Taylor. Eventually find out that the Anesidora was a ship that recovered the black box of the Nostromo, and the captain of the Anesidora's wife got humped by a facehugger, thus releasing the alien on Sevastopol Station. I'll leave the story there. Let's talk about gameplay. So obviously it's a horror game with the main focus on the alien being the main threat. Going through and completing the various objectives will have you confronted by the aliens, humans, and androids called Working Joes. Androids aren't new to the Alien franchise at all, but they are usually disguised as a human and later revealed. The Working Joes don't hide that they're androids, so you know the difference no matter what. They are really just trying to do their jobs, which conflicts with the whole station going tits up.
We've got to re-establish long-range communications.
You're becoming hysterical.
Meaning they will guard off employee areas, subdue rebelling personnel, among other stuff. You have lots of tools at your disposal. Some will help you with the humans, some with the Working Joes, some with the alien, and a few that will assist you with all of them. For example, the EMP mine is best for the Working Joes, while the flare is best for the alien, and the fucking hammer is best for the humans. With the gadgets comes a crafting system. There are components scattered around the station that you can use to make whatever you want, to aid in specific situations. They can allow you to distract the enemy of your choosing, allowing you to escape or get the upper hand. Speaking of which, unlike Outlast, you can fight back here. You get the maintenance jack as a melee weapon and other guns as you play the game. None of the weapons are for the alien though, since you can't hurt or kill it. But eventually you get the flamethrower, that's meant specifically to scare it away to buy you some time. The crafting interface takes some getting used to. Everything is off-center, so I found myself stumbling around. A pretty dope feature is that you can commit parts to specific items. If you commit a part, it will make space in your inventory to collect more of that part. Speaking of stumbling around the interface, the controls in the game are pretty weird. You hold B to select an item, and I've pressed B to crouch more times than I can count. Once you select the item, you hold X to use it, which seems simple enough, but if you selected a gun, you need to prepare it by holding the left trigger first. It's odd, but that opens up the right trigger alone to be your melee button. A nice touch when starting a new game is you get options for Kinect integration. The game came out on Xbox One when every user had a Kinect. Enabling these options can have the camera sense when you're leaning, or to hear when you make a noise. And that one I think is dumb. You make the game harder for yourself with no added benefit. Okay, the game is fantastic, so we'll talk about the things that it absolutely nails after I remind you to leave the video a like. Subscribe too if you're enjoying it so far, both of which help the channel a lot. Thanks. Okay, first off, the 80s aesthetic is spot on. Everything in this world feels straight out of the movie. The gadgets, the noises, computers, everything in the environment is awesome. Also, the atmosphere of Sevastopol Station is amazing. It's incredibly eerie, spacious, and it's believable as shit, which adds to the scary moments, and there are a bunch of them. I wish I recorded my audio. With those scares, gotta say, not many jump scares. And if you know me, this is a huge positive. There are some, and even some that are not meant to be jump scares. The game really is fun to play, due to it being tense and genuinely unsettling at times. Okay, now the negatives. The biggest one, and it's unanimous. The game is too fucking long. For those who don't know, play along. How long do you expect an alien horror game to be? 6 hours on the low end, maybe 8 or 10 would be good. Okay, the game takes 15 to 18 hours to beat. Hear me out. Late game, the objectives get incredibly repetitive and become a slog. You find yourself looking for codes, key cards, and other shit over and over. Having a shorter runtime, even by a couple hours, would have fixed this for me personally. The game is great, it just overstays its welcome. There were rumors that Sega told Creative Assembly to make the game longer at some point in development, but I couldn't find anything that confirms that. Another thing is that I think the movement feels heavy and clunky at times. Ripley is kinda slow and does everything a hair slower than you'd expect. Except getting in and out of lockers, like what's the rush? Take it easy, he'll hear you. Speaking of he'll hear you, the alien is cheating, okay? I can't explain it, but this fucker is everywhere that you are. You can leave an area thinking that you left him circling back there like an idiot, just for him to magically show up in a new place. It's so damn annoying. A bunch of the marketing for the game was talking about how smart the alien is, but he's not smart, he's just using hacks. If you play the game, you'll know what I'm talking about. Should you play Alien Isolation? Well, it's the perfect game.
Some kind of alien organism. It's extremely dangerous. You and Taylor need to make...
Taylor is hurt. She was injured by debris during the crossing.
I don't care. Holy shit, I got lucky. And if you notice that this is just the same piece floating by. Really one of the underrated games of last generation. Definitely worth checking out if you want some spooks. Please remember to leave the video a like if you liked it. And please subscribe. It helps me with the algorithm and allows the channel to grow. Thank you. I'm on social media as well. SilverJS on Twitter or X, JS Silver on Instagram. 3s for the E's. I'll see you all in the next one. Stay safe. There were rumors that Sega told Certain Affinity to make the game... Wait, it's not Certain Affinity, it's Creative Assembly. Oh man, I'm so glad I caught that.